everyone. I think we're good to start, right? Thank you for joining us today. Pleasure to have you here. The topic we want to talk about is digitalization in pharma manufacturing and how we are working together in a collaborative way across pharma manufacturing with pharma manufacturers like AstraZeneca, GSK, strategic vendors like AWS, Siemens, and various others to drive and build some of the innovative solutions in pharma. The other thing I want to bring today in our discussion is the need for data-driven in manufacturing. We know manufacturing is challenging. I mean, in pharma, it's about regulatory compliance. So how we can address some of those challenges, what an operator is looking around, deviations, quality in a sustainable way. So we are today joined by our speakers, and I'll get them to introduce. But my name is Nipun Sibal. I'm a specialist global account manager for pharma manufacturing based out of EMEA, responsible for driving smart manufacturing initiatives. Background, I'm an electrical engineer, so spend a lot of time in industrial automation space. Let me introduce to Dave. Dave, do you want to come in?
Thanks, Nipun. Good.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, good. Thank you, Nipun. So I'm Dave Truder. I'm the Managing Director of CPI's pharmaceutical organisation, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre and the partnership that we have. Yeah?
Thank you. And we also have another speaker, the third one, Andy.
Thank you, Nipun. And I'll just put this down there. Hi, good afternoon, or sorry, good morning. It already feels like it's been a long day. I'm from Siemens. Been working with these guys for a few years. Really happy to be here. I'm responsible for our pharmaceutical business within Siemens, about how we go and adopt new technologies and Siemens technologies, of course, with our pharmaceutical customers. I'm here all week and showcasing that in the other hall as well.
Thank you. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to get Dave to walk through what this journey has been, give you an introduction about CPI, and how this collaboration is driving some of those tangible outcomes. Dave, over to you.
Thank you, Nipun. So by way of background, I've been working in the pharmaceutical industry for 34 years, and I've seen the evolution and the importance of data and how data can really transform speed to market, getting that drug to the patient as quick as we can, driving efficiency in the manufacturing process to make sure the costs are acceptable, and of course driving a better carbon footprint. And I'm going to talk to you today about a collaboration that we have between CPI, the pharmaceutical industry, Amazon Web Services and Siemens. As I start the presentation, let me introduce, first of all, the company that I work with. I work for the Centre for Process Innovation, part of the UK innovation ecosystem. We're part of the UK's Catapult network. The best way to describe it is comparable to the Fraunhofer system here in Germany. And our mission is to help companies to translate, develop and scale up advanced technologies, whether it's a manufacturing technology or whether it's a digital technology, and get it into the industry as fast as we can. That's what our mission is. We're a not-for-profit social enterprise, and we're pretty agnostic about who we work with. The organisation itself has got a number of large centres. We have over 700 scientists and engineers working across all drug modalities. We have the National Biologics Centre, the Formulation Centre. Recently we built the RNA Centre of Excellence, and the one I'm going to talk about particularly today is the one in Glasgow, which is the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre. Now, this particular centre came out of the 2017 Life Sciences Strategy in the UK, where clearly in the UK they were developing advanced technologies, but they were pretty poor at translating them into the industry, whether it be in the UK or internationally. And MMIC was set up to try and address that challenge. And if there's anything you remember from today, it's got two really clear missions. Can we set up large, grand challenge technology collaborations to drive a step change in innovation in the industry? And secondly, can we build a centre where we can actually demonstrate that and under regulated conditions or under GMP conditions so that the industry can just lift the solution and cookie cut it out? Now today, you're going to hear from Amazon Web Services and from Siemens, two of the particular digital solutions, and you'll hear more about that later on. This facility in Glasgow has got 5 missions. We're looking to try and drive advanced solutions into the industry, whether that be improve compliance, speed to market, whether that's to drive the productivity and the carbon footprint down. We're looking to try and make the compliance process for new technologies easier. It's one of the biggest barriers that we have in the pharmaceutical industry. How do we get the regulator to come alongside us? We need to build the workforce of the future, so we have a skills academy and a skills strategy. And of course, we've built the facility in Glasgow, which is this GMP facility, for us to be able to demonstrate under pharmaceutical conditions and allowing the pharmaceutical companies to actually launch the product with the new technology in this facility. And that makes it much easier from a translational point of view. The collaboration itself has grown rapidly. We are 5.5 years old. We now have 38 partners, and we've raised over £148 million of funding to drive innovation. We're working on 12 major transformations just now in the industry, and in the background you can see just some of the companies that are in the partnership. We like to call it the triple helix. We've got lots of academics. We're working with 16 academics and RTOs. We're working with 30 industry partners, whether they be large pharmaceutical companies, large technology companies or SMEs, and we're working with all the government agencies, particularly a partnership with the MHRA, the regulator, to drive change. So the partnership has grown from strength to strength, and we see that continue to evolve over the coming years. So a little bit more about what we're all about. I'm going to hopefully let you watch this video, and this will take it in more detail about what we're doing.
Has the power to transform pharmaceutical manufacturing by increasing flexibility, sustainability and reducing costs to ultimately benefit patients. We're collaborating with academia, service providers and pharma and tech companies to drive industry standardization and the adoption of digital medicines manufacturing technology. In our vision for the digital pharma factory of the future, manufacturing and data recording take place simultaneously, ensuring the right process is in the right place at the right time. Self-learning cobots or collaborative robots drive the efficiency and standardization of manufacturing processes, while digitally supported quality professionals and automated monitoring procedures ensure both operator and patient safety, so we can deliver the same assured quality standards and automatically provide regular and reliable information to the regulator, who can see in real time whether standards are being met rather than through on-site inspections. This results in lower manufacturing costs, the ability to treat a broader range of diseases, smaller batch production, even down to an individual patient level, faster production times and reduced environmental impact. To achieve this ambition, we'll create an end-to-end design of a compliant digital systems architecture with frictionless connectivity. Join us on this first step of the journey toward a digital future for the pharma industry. Be part of this new digital manufacturing innovation grand challenge. Let's innovate together.
So to wrap up this introductory section before I allow the two guys to share some examples, I want you just to talk a little bit about our vision. So our vision is the future of the pharma industry is cloud first. Everything should be in the cloud, regardless of whatever part of that process is, whether you're in the development scale-up part of the industry or whether you're in the manufacturing supply side of the industry. That's the vision we have at MMIC, and that's what we've created. Everything is in the cloud. No paper whatsoever in the model that we have. We're really clear about making sure that we get the architecture right. That if you don't get the stack of architecture right, and let me tell you, in the pharma industry, in the world that I live in, we're lucky if 25% of the industry has got that architecture stack in the right order, in the right sequence. That allows them to put the control tower in for data and for the industry to interrogate the data to unlock value. That's where the pharmaceutical is going over the next 10 years. Data will become the most important thing. If they can unlock the value of data, they will unlock all the prizes, whether it be pricing strategies, whether it be carbon footprint or speed to market. And that's exactly where this partnership, the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation, partnership is really keen to drive forward. Now I'm going to hand over to Nipun, who's going to talk to us about a quality example, and I'm going to hand over to Andy, who'll talk later on about a real-time carbon monitoring tool. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Dave. So I think it's about now what we have achieved in MMIC as part of this collaboration, and what are some of those examples we want to walk through with you. But before we do that, I also want to highlight our partnership, why AWS and Siemens in this world, and what do we bring into this together. So you obviously know about Siemens, #1 industrial organization in the world, right? They come from that factory background, and AWS being #1 in the cloud business. And what people don't know about sometimes is we run our own factories. Siemens have got their own manufacturing practices and factories. AWS, Amazon.com, we have our own fulfillment centers. So there's a lot of experience in industrial domain that we bring in together. And that's why this partnership is helping in terms of, one, we're trying to reduce and bring this IT-OT convergence together by building some of those solutions which bring time to value with Siemens and AWS. Second, with the power of cloud, we're able to build solutions which are more scalable and flexible, as Dave mentioned about data being very key. And that's what we're trying to do with our partnership. But when we talk about MMIC, what we have done here is we have created this, when we talk about data automation, from the sources, we have ingested data from various different grand challenges that were in MMIC, from building management system, from factory equipment. And what we have done, we have created data pipelines that allow to have data flowing, whether it's an MQTT, IoT telemetry data, or a high stream volume data from factory. And once this data flows in, we have created these pipelines and catalogs. This is where we start to really harmonize data in a way there is domain-specific catalogs. So for Planet, any data related to factory, related to sustainability, energy efficiency is being stored. For Process, any data related to historian, MES, production data is being stored in those repository, and as well as Planet, or as well as Plant, which is about equipment, access logs. Once you have this data catalogs, we were able to build various different products here, and you can see them on the top. Carbon dashboarding, real-time release dashboards, which are allowing real-time release of batches, and as well as digital twin technology, equipment monitoring. It was down to this data automation across from top floor, from shop floor all the way to the boardroom. So it's about democratizing your data to make sure you're able to build products which are repeatable. From an AWS perspective, what we have done, like I said, we have been a cloud partner in this partnership where we have been able to build data pipelines, able to provide those data catalogs which are repeatable, and as well as the underlying cloud infrastructure that allows you to have scalability and flexibility in this partnership. Andy, you want to talk about Siemens' role?
I'd love to talk about Siemens' role, and I'd like to sort of come back on a couple of points that you guys brought up. Our CEO opened the Hannover Messe on Sunday evening, and it's all about industrial AI, this AI revolution. And this is partly what we're doing. But the thing that I've learned this week, someone told me, is there's no AI without data. And if there's no data, which is often the case in the pharmaceutical factory, and this is what Dave and his team are really trying to provide, then we can start going to that next level with AI. And this is the starting point of it. What we're providing, of course, at the cybersecurity level or in a cybersecure way is the data. It's coming from the equipment, it's coming from the control system, it's coming from the MES, as we said. So automation, industrial control, location of the material, of the people throughout the plant, and how do we collect, contextualize, and make sure that we use data in the right way. If you just have data everywhere, you can't even use it. So it's not just about having data, it's about being able to use it intelligently. And that's where I believe, truly believe, that the partnership that we're bringing together, we talk a lot about, or everyone talks a lot about IT, OT convergence, and this is what it's all about. Bringing that together, blurring that line, and making sure that it really is not just integrated and converged, but a real single part. So I think I go on to the next slide where I want to talk in a little bit more detail about what that means. So remember, there's no AI without data. There are so many companies out there today that are still using paper to record their operations, of the manufacturing process, the batch record. Excuse me. How do we convert that into an electronic document and how do we actually visualize that? So even if you've got paper and a PDF and then you use that machine-readable batch record, that's still really hard to read. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't read that. Yeah, but think about the quality people. Their job is to focus on the quality of the medicine itself. That's their qualification. They want an easy-to-use visualization to be able to see that. And that's where this innovative work with Dave and his team of what we call the QP platform. QP stands for Qualified Personnel. Qualified person or quality, so that means the people who are signing off that the batch has been done in the right way. So by bringing this data together, we're able then on that platform to show in a nice, easy-to-use visualization exactly how or where, what happened during the batch. So this is a really interesting and innovative thing that many pharma companies are thinking about to move from that harder to use visualization to a consistent and standardized way of looking and leveraging the data. I think I also have another point now to bring forward, which is around how we also use that. Why use the data? It's not just for collecting it and showing the batch, but also to think about how we control the facility, how we control the environment, and so on and so forth. So again, we're working with together to bring that data in and to control the emissions, to improve sustainability, to make any plant as efficient as possible. And Dave, and through his team, through the CPI, are demonstrating to the industry how that can be done in the best possible way. So I don't really want to talk through all the right way through the slides. It's the same message. Bring the data, connect it together, control it, visualize it, and then act on it. We talk about actionable insights. That's what you need, and that's the way you can do it. But you have to have that data, and it has to go to the right person at the right time. I think it's back to Dave now.
To conclude.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Stephen. Now, those are two great examples. Let me just give you some statistics and information. So if you look at the carbon monitoring tool we talked about in the last slide, the pharmaceutical industry has got a worse carbon footprint than the global automotive industry today, including all the cars that you drive. And so driving that carbon footprint down is critically important in the pharmaceutical industry. Real-time data, data automation at the fingertips of those scientists and engineers that are making daily decisions to reduce the burden on the planet is very important. If you look at that QP platform, quality in the flow data automation, most of these pharma companies have got at least £2 billion of inventory, and guess what? 25% of that inventory is stuck in quality. And if you can drive that efficient quality, you unlock hundreds of millions of pounds of value that can go back to the patient, reduce the price of these drugs, and these drugs get to more people globally. So data automation is absolutely essential for the pharmaceutical industry. And as Andy and the Poons talked about, get your architect right, get the data ontology, get your data control tower, and then interrogate that data in the most efficient way. And you know, as the industry is now moving from batch manufacture to continuous manufacturing, flow chemistry and flow tablet manufacture creates 10 times more data than a batch manufacturing process. So if we don't have tools and systems to harness that data and get the value, we're really going to get stuck in terms of some of the strategies that we have. Our ambition at the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre with the partners that we've got in AWS and Siemens, who are working really well together, is to be the digital lighthouse for the pharmaceutical industry. I can tell you right now, the two examples that we shared with you today, there is no some single tech company or no single pharma company could have solved those two solutions on their own. Collaboration is absolutely essential, bringing the great minds from different companies, whether they're the pharma industry or a tech company or an SME, to drive the solution. And that's exactly what our strategy is. We want to demonstrate what the future of manufacturing for the industry is going to be, the autonomous factory of the future. Thank you very much for listening. We'd be happy to take any comments or questions, but I think that's us at the end of the presentation.
And there is one more. We have a stand, AWS stand here, if you want to connect on any of those deep dive, and there's also a Siemens stand.
And the Siemens stand is much, much bigger, by the way, much more exciting. The reason I'm wearing a lab coat is because I've got about 30 to 40 colleagues here talking about pharmaceutical. We have a lab and we're showing that control of data with the use cases we've created here and many, many others. And I don't want to be overplaying it, but it would be great to see you if you want to hear more about pharma. And sorry, but Siemens is using pharmaceutical as a showcase to explain the art of the possible around digitalization. So there are many of these applications that we're showcasing from the end-to-end digital enterprise that you can come and see, feel, touch, whatever you want to do with it. Come and talk to us about it. You're very, very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nitin.
Andy, for today.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much.